Welcome to Channel AMIC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrate to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel, turn a little bell on the side so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one of getting all the insight, just like today, the 1st of July, where we have received a lot of information. Now in this video, I will focus on the business innovation entrepreneurial stream, which is a very largely talked about pathway of how one could actually establish a potential business in Australia and migrate to Australia. So let's get into and look into detail on what updates that they have done. Okay, so as you see here, it's an entrepreneurial stream where it's a provisional visa for startup and early stage entrepreneurs. So what does that mean? That means the business has to be some sort of startup or early stage. It cannot be a cafe, it cannot be a restaurant, and it cannot be any small local business around Australia. So I think those can be invested, but I predominantly think they will leave that into 491, whereby applicant can utilize SBO scheme to actually invest and migrate there. But 188 entrepreneur stream here, let's have a look what it says here. So as you can see, it's an updated one with 1st of July 2021. It's the visa provides you up to 5 years, and processing time is not available, gosh, because there's just not enough people applying it. And let's look at the summary, which is right above my head, right out there. Okay, so you need to be nominated by the state and territory government, propose to undertake a compliant entrepreneurial activity. We'll go into detail definition of what that means, and shows a business plan for your entrepreneurial activity and have at least competent English. That's English of 6 across 4 bands. Now let's jump into the eligibility of those details there. So it needs to be receive an invitation to apply. Now, what does that mean? You need to be invited. That's what it means. First, you must submit an EOI. If an Australian state government agency accept your EOI and nominate you, you will be invited to apply this visa. Then you need to be nominated. So that means the state or territory state government agencies, they need to approve your business plan, and then you'll be nominated. So then otherwise you cannot apply, and you need to be an age under 55. So there is no point table here. You're not required to have any point table here. As you can see here, that is not unlike 1AA and B, which you need to have at least 65 points. There's no point required, but the complying entrepreneur activity is here. Let's have a look at the detail. Okay, you must undertake or propose to undertake a compliant entrepreneurial activity in Australia. You must have a genuine intention to continue this activity. A compliant entrepreneurial activity must relate to an innovative idea. Okay, so again, to emphasize, it cannot be a restaurant, cafe, or news agencies, or any type of small local businesses, mom and pop businesses cannot be accepted. It has to generate and lead to commercialization of product or services in Australia, or a development enterprise or business in Australia. So again, that's a very high bar. It cannot just be any local established business. Again, the local established business can be accessible through, I believe that will be under 491 SBO for all the other different states. I'm not too sure whether every state will have that, but let's see what happens, because most of states will have their skill migration open up later on this month. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so we have all the updates for you. Now, this activity must not relate to the following category. Again, cannot be residential real estate, so it's predominantly banned for 1AA and also 1AA, and cannot be a labor hiring company, and cannot be a purchase of existing enterprise or franchise. So it has to be completely new. Okay, so the agency or the authority you might want to work on and work with will be a venture capital fund. Okay, venture capitalist, in order to actually get you into those compliant commercialization procedures. Okay, now if you're invited, apply on or after 1st of July. You need to be endorsed by a recognized body. Now, previously, as you know, it has to be these public sectors and things like that, and has to go through the Australian Investment Capital Fund things. Now, if you after 1st of July be nominated by state, territory, government agency to develop an entrepreneurial concept and check the eligibility with different states. So they'll have their own different criteria, which we don't have it yet, because this morning I've checked all the state and territory migration website. As far as concerned, there's only Victoria provide a newsletter, not in the website but in email. So all the other states and governments, and they haven't provided anything at all yet. So we're not gonna. We'll come back to this once they announce their criteria there. Now I'm not gonna talk through before 1st July, because today is 1st July, so that's all history already. Okay, and you need to have a competent English. That's English IELTS 6 across 4 bands, and health and character requirement as usual, and all the other things. Now I'm gonna take you into the actual law itself, as what we have done. Now, where are we now? This is actually, I'm gonna do a search while we're right inside of the actual regulation here. So this is the Legend Com, which is a system allows us the migration professions to actually dig into the detail of the law. So again, here we go. You see the 1st July 2021. This is the most updated version of the law, and we are looking at 188 point whatever it is. Now let's scroll down to the entrepreneurial stream, where this is the investor stream, so it should be the next. Here we go. That's significant. That's SIV. Now should be very. Oh, here we go. Okay, 188.28, the criteria for entrepreneurial stream. Point 281 says you have to be invited. That's what it says on the immigration web page, and you must undertake or propose to undertake what it says, what they call compliant entrepreneurial activity, and have the genuine intention to actually conducting the activity. Okay, and there's not much saying here. So basically we gotta click in here, and we need to know what it says right there. Okay, now let me comply. Let me just search and go quicker to go to not compliant investment, not compliant significant investment. We are going into compliant entrepreneurial activity. Here we go. Okay, so what does it say? It says the activity that applicant and visa is undertaking, proposed to undertake, is a uncompliant entrepreneurial activity, and if fit all requirement, if it's said before. So activity relates to innovative idea that is proposed to lead to commercialization, development, enterprise, and business in Australia. So same thing as the same what it says up on the web page. Does not relate to activities specified individual by class, instrument, under sub regulation. So that's basically banning real estate investments and purchase of a franchise or whatever it is. So it has to be innovated. If a applicant invited visa before 1st July, so we're not gonna look into before, but let's look into afterwards. Okay, so entity cover regulation is both any of the following agency of Commonwealth and things like that. So again, that basically says it needs to go through the state government, and they need to approve that. And this is actually part of that law with the instrument. I'm going to magnify this, and it basically says, can you read that? It basically says cannot be a labor hiring entity or residential real estate property and things like that. And that's the end of that, basically the easy documentation. So what's your thought about 1.8e? Is it doable or not? Now previously, because there was a 132b where they utilize a venture capital fund and an innovative idea, you can actually potentially obtain a permanent residency straight away. But now they remove that, they move everything into 1.8e. Do you still want to do it? Do you think that's attractive? Leave your comment right down below and see you next video. Goodbye.